at the level of settlement. Survival is still ensured. Interesting skins are stretched, dried on wooden frames, become cloaks and lit fires to keep warm in winter. Strong hands plow clean each layer of fat. Morn keeps the ancestral knowledge passed down through generations. Hunted meat is chopped into small pieces, hung to smoke, becoming a precious food source for the long cold days. In the world of white snow, every meal, every shirt carries the breath of mountains and seas, proving the harmony between humans and nature. In the cold polar regions, hunting is not only for survival, but also a sacred bond with nature. The hunter patiently takes down the prey, separates each piece of meat, each piece of skin so that nothing is wasted. The meat is cut into slices, stored in the ice like giant food stores. Each piece of fresh red meat is the source of life, the strength to feed the whole community during the endless winter. In the place where snowstorms rage, people have learned to live in harmony, grateful for each gift that nature gives. Dawn rises over the ice. Hunters in fur coats gaze at the horizon, where the seals stretch endlessly. They embark on an arduous journey, tracking the herd amid the cold wind and snow. Thousands of seals crowd the ice, creating a majestic yet harsh scene. Fierce blows, hurried steps, and finally the spoils pulled back in an effort to survive. In the midst of the white snowstorm, every knife slash, every breath is proof of the persistent struggle of humans against the fierce nature. Amidst the cold blue ice, blocks of fresh red meat were cut and stacked into sections. The hunter's calloused hands carefully lifted each piece of meat, neatly arranged like a precious food store. Some were dropped into the icy water, using the ocean as a natural cold cellar. Every strand of white fat, every strand of red meat was kept, because in this harsh land, nothing was wasted. Every slice, every rope contained survival experience passed down through generations. The red meat slices, covered with ice crystals, glittered under the sunset on the white snow. The woman in the fur coat hung each strip of meat on the wooden rack, turning the winter sky into a giant drying oven. Each ice-covered wooden bar filled with dried meat stood alone in the middle of the snowy field, like a symbol of human endurance in the extreme cold. The flickering fire reflected on the hanging meat strips, mingling with the breath of winter, preserving the source of life for the long days ahead.